start out by sharing a story. So once upon a time, in a land far, far away named Chicago, there lived a princess and a prince. And they lived a very good life, so she thought. She was a therapist, and she helped people from all over the land, helping them with their problems. And she collected her $30,000 a year. And she had a bungalow castle with a white picket fence and a couple of kids and a dog. And everything seemed good, so she thought. Until one day, the princess and the prince picked up and moved to a foreign land named Los Angeles. Now, this was a very strange land, as you can imagine. The people were different. They acted different. And she soon came to realize that she, too, had to do something different. So she and the prince did what all the other Californians did, and that is get a divorce. Now, I don't have to tell you that there were other problems in this fairy tale. However, there the princess was, all alone. And she had to do something different for herself. And she thought to herself, what was she going to do? I mean, she couldn't do what she was doing and actually be a therapist and help others, because God knows she had problems of her own. And she knew that she couldn't collect the $30,000 anymore and live in this foreign land, Los Angeles. And she knew that she had to do something different. So for 40 days and 40 nights, she lay under her covers, thinking, hoping, wishing. Until one day, she woke up. And she walked into her closet, and there in the dark abyss amongst the oversized dark clothes, she saw also a shoebox. And in the shoebox were filled with Birkenstocks. And then she opened her drawer only to find nursing bras. Oh my God, this princess had to change, and she had to change really fast. So she again thought, what was she going to do? And there in the windowsill came some sunlight, and it illuminated a magic wand in the corner. And she picked up the magic wand, a wand that she once knew before she knew the prince. And she dusted it off, and she cleared away the cobwebs. And she waved it in the air, and she waved it in her closet, and suddenly the closet started popping up with the rainbows of color, blues and pinks and purples. And then they started shrinking to her normal size. And her shoes actually grew stems. And when she opened the drawer, it was lined with sexy lingerie. So this princess decided to try on her new clothes and step out into the world. And do you know what happened? Opportunity started knocking on her door. New suitors started noticing her. And that $30,000 a year started doubling and tripling. And it was at that moment in time she knew that she wanted to help people from all over, just as she had been helped, because this transformation really took her to a new place. And she thought that the moral of this particular story was that it wasn't about changing who she was, but it was about changing the outer and her presentation so that people got to know who she was. And this is where this story ended and a new chapter began. The end. So, thank you. So hopefully by now you guys figured out that I was the so-called princess. That was my life. And I wanted to share it with you, first of all, in a form of a story, because as Joe Sugarman pointed out, there's nothing more compelling than a story. And it also tells people about people. And in fact, when I work with people, I often say connect with a story. But I also wanted to use the metaphor of the magic wand, is that what I'm going to teach you today is something that is pretty magical. It's the only thing in this seminar, I have to say, that you can actually do in an instant of a magic wand. And I'm going to teach you some secrets that you can go home and do right now and change the response that you get from your customers, your relationships with people all over, and you really will get results. So that is a little bit just about my personal life. And the reason why I'm so passionate about doing what I do is because I've been through it. I've been through my own transformation, and it's always evolving. I think we all have gone through a journey. How many of you just have, been through like a transformation of some sort? Right? Isn't that what inspires us to do what we do? And I think John said it best too, and the biggest thing that prevents us from change and moving forward is fear. So the things that I do is to help people put everything into action. One of the things that used to frustrate me as a therapist is that people would come to me and they would talk and they would talk. And look, talking is great. But nobody, or very little people, would take action. And what I like about this process, whether it's the shopping that I do or the coaching that I do, and by the way, when I coach people, and whether it's life coaching or dating coaching, I work with your presentation, your body language, and I see you in time. I see how you're interacting with people. I see what people are reacting to in terms of first impressions. So I'm going to talk to you about that. Also, looking at your closet. What colors are working for you and your brand? Do you have a personal style? I mean, when I look at you, can I look at you and know exactly what you do for a living and what your brand is? Because you are your brand. I want you guys to really, really think about that. A lot of us, today we've been talking about great things with all the other leaders, is that, working on your messaging and your marketing. But if you are not congruent with what your brand is, you might be spinning your wheels. I also, again, work on body language. So, and by the way, this is one of my clients. Now, she owns a costume design business. She also was single when she came to me. Okay? I don't have to say anything more. She's wanting to attract a man, and she's attracting a higher level of business looking like this. But and I love her, and she's okay with me showing this, and because I really have transformed her life. And the thing about here, and this is what I'm going to talk about too, John and Benson, and one of the things he said is that he likes to be comfortable. Dressing for success is about being comfortable. It is. And it's also being specific to who you are. I'm not a true stylist. I'm not about these cookie cutter trends that I'm going to throw on you and say, oh, you must wear this. It's the latest fashion. It's about your lifestyle. It's about your body type. It's what colors flatter you. She could wear this to work because the industry that she's in, and she also, I want to say, increased her business 10 times up, just changing her image. And on top of it, she got a boyfriend who she's very happy with. So enhancing your attitude, your poise, your wardrobe will boost how you feel about yourself. That's what's so cool about all of this, is that when you feel better about yourself, you will make better decisions, you're going to be more adventurous, and you're going to have more energy. And everybody, all the speakers are talking to you today about people liking you. But again, like in my princess story, people are not going to get to know who you are if you are not presenting in a way that's approachable. So think about that. Okay, so I love this study. How many of you are either copywriters or work out of your home and you don't leave the house? And you're like, ugh, I don't care about the clothes I wear because, I'm sitting. Okay, this is why I love this study. Do you know, this was in the New York Times, and what happened is that scientists wanted to study how clothes actually affect performance and impact the way clients or people perceive you. And what they determined, they had people put on these white coats and saying, okay, you're a doctor, and let's see how people are responding to you. Well, the guys who wore the white coats actually acted as if they were a doctor, and people believed them, so much so that they believed everything that these guys told them, and they weren't really doctors. But what they also found, which was fascinating, is that there was scientific proof in the brain that the clothes that you're wearing actually shifts what's going on in your brain. The makeup of your brain shifted with the clothes. So next time you're in your pajamas writing, or you're doing a sales call, I invite you to actually put on an outfit that you really feel awesome in, or you're just coming back from a meeting, and see if you close that sale and see if you write amazing that day. And I bet you will. Okay, so I'm talking to a group of business people, so I'm thinking, how can I make shopping sound like business? So how can you achieve your ROI on your wardrobe? I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but my belief is it's very simple. And I had to graph it out just so that I could, I'm speaking your language, right? ROI, right? Okay, so we're talking about image, branding, and body language, IBB. If you just remember those three components, you guys will have it. And that's what I want to share with you today. Okay, another one of my clients. This is Barb. And Barb also, now she has a coaching business. And what you see before is how she showed up shopping with me. How you see her before is what you see on her website. And she wasn't understanding why she wasn't getting customers. She had a great business model. Let me tell you guys something. This is another thing. I get a lot of people who say, I don't want you to change who I am, and if people don't like the way that I am, then screw them. Is some of you thinking that already? I could see some. Here's the thing. Okay, let me put it to you in terms of business. If you have two business packages, and they're the same exact content, but one has a manila envelope and it's written in pencil, chicken scratch. The other one is laminated and it's beautiful. Same content. Which one are you going to choose? What?
The pretty one.
The pretty one, right? The pretty one. Not that the content was any different, but you're going to choose the pretty one. This is human behavior. This has nothing to do with being superficial or artificial. This is something that happens in the brain so fast, and I'm going to talk to you. So what is image? The Winning Image is a book written by James Gray, and he defines image as the way that others perceive or see you, and that determines how they will treat you. Okay, that is pretty powerful. Think about it. What's so exciting about this, you guys, is that it is truly a magic wand. I can go with each and every one of you. If I just scratch this whole lecture and I just brought you up one by one, and I say, tweak this, tweak that, tweak this, I bet you would get a different result in response of people. And we can do that. So anytime you guys are getting bored, and I'm going to have you guys do some exercises. Okay, so your presentation will influence others. This is scientific proof. This has nothing to do with me and my opinion. That you can have people comply with your requests, trust you with information, give you access to decision makers, pay you a certain amount of money, and hire you for your services and products just based on how you look and how you're presenting. It's pretty powerful. So again, you can have the best content in the world, but if your image is not portraying what you're selling, again, you're spinning your wheels. So ask yourself, how is your current image and your wardrobe supporting your ability to command optimal pay? Here's the thing, true story. So I didn't have a program that I could study from. I'm an academic by heart. I know I have blonde hair, but I actually, I do study. And I didn't have I didn't have a program, so I had to create my own. And what I did is that, we're all talking about you have to throw down money in order to make money. So I paid this woman. She was the top image consultant in LA. And I gave her $10,000, and I said, I want to do what you're doing. She said, great. I'll teach you. I also did a correspondence course over in the UK called Style Coaching, and it combined life coaching and styling. It's like the perfect marriage, right? Because for me, with my therapy background, and so anyway, I meet this woman because, like we're all talking about, I couldn't just study. I had to do it in order to really feel it. And I walk in, and okay, so I'm from Chicago, as you heard in my story, and I got a new outfit, right? So I got a blazer, it was a wool blazer, and I put on my Gap jeans, and I put on my Midwest boot, and I showed up, and I was all like excited to meet her. And she takes one look at me, and she's like this. She's like, and you expect to get clients who are gonna pay you $10,000 like this? You look like a mom. I'm like, but I am a mom. And I was like, I burst into tears. I was devastated. But actually, she was right. And you attract what you put out. And if I was just going to attract moms into my life that would pay me $200 to shop with them all day, then that's who I would attract it. It wasn't until I put on something different, a new pair of heels, and really learned the value of buying something for myself. And that's weird too. Women, we're the worst at doing things for ourselves. We're always doing things for others, right? Women, how many of you relate to that? Yeah, because we're socialized that way, right? But here's the thing. Here's the metaphor that I use. And men, it might manifest itself differently with you guys because you may not put value into clothes, like, no, I'm going to put, into my marketing and all this. Well, you have got to pay attention to what you're putting out there, the message. There's a story behind what you guys are sending to us. Not only that, women, if you're selling to women, how many men are selling to women? Ha-ha. Wait, men, can you stand up? I want women to see this. Awesome. Okay, do you know I'm doing a webisode series right now, and it's called How to Make Heads Turn? And I ambushed a bunch of people in the streets of Santa Monica, and I said, what makes your head turn? And I interviewed a bunch of women and a bunch of men. And you can sit down, but thank you for standing up. I feel like such a lady when you do that. The thing that every one of these women said, and what attracts them to a guy, and I don't care if we're talking about relationships or business, the number one reason is confidence, and if a man is put together. Because here's the thing. Women, we make up stories in our head. We're kind of crazy that way, right? I mean, I'm a woman, so I can say that. We make up stories. We take a look at a man who is well-dressed and well put together, and he's like, wow, so he must take care of his home. And if he takes care of his home, he must be a good provider. And if he's a good provider, oh my gosh, he must be a great dad. And we make up these stories in our head. I know it sounds funny, but this is what we do. A man takes a look at a woman, and he thinks of one thing in that 30 seconds, right? And you guys all know what I'm talking about, right? Don't look at me like you don't know. What's the one thing that you look at when you see a woman dressed up nice? Did you hear what this guy said? Shoes? Okay, so maybe you look at shoes.
Yeah, nice shoes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I like it. What is the one thing that you guys think about? First 30 seconds. Sex. Thank you. Shoes and sex. Actually, some, right? Yeah. Shoe sex.
I'll scare you.
Yeah, no, you're not scaring me. You just sound like a guy. Okay, so, and I love working both with men and women. Okay, let's talk about first impressions.
Not sex.
Not sex! I love it. Not sex. Okay, this is Catherine, my dear client, Catherine. How many of you think she's married? Raise your hand. Library. Isn't that interesting? He said librarian. Yeah, that's like one of the first actually associations that a lot of people say when they see this picture. Now, what's interesting about Catherine is I was hired by Rose Cole. I don't know if any of you know who Rose. She's a high-powered woman who does these amazing retreats for women to up-level their business. And I had to go shopping with 10 women. And I had the task in 3 hours to get all of them outfits for their photo shoot. I'm like, oh great. Not only that, I had to go to like 1 or 2 particular stores, and that's all I had. So I had to deal with what I had. Now, every woman found an outfit except this one. And I see her in the corner, and she's crying. She's bursting into tears. And I come to realize that everything about that experience brought her back to when she was in junior high, when she was that girl, that overweight girl, that nothing fit her. And it just brought back all the memories. I said, look, I'm going to spend more time with you, and I want to take you to the store across the street. What it was actually that particular store and that particular brand just wasn't fitting her body. It had nothing to do with her. She's a cute girl. So it takes 30 seconds to make a first impression, guys. That's all you got. And in that 30 seconds, there's measurable effects on financial success, authority, trustworthiness, intelligence, and suitability for hire. You hear all the speakers, we're talking about trust. People are not going to trust you if you don't have that great first impression. Again, I don't care how good your products are. If people don't like you and they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Here's Catherine. Now. Remember shoes and sex? How many guys say sex? Stand up if you say sex. Guys, sex. Finally, this audience is waking up. My God. Okay. Okay. So yeah, sex sells, by the way. We know this. So this is Catherine. She, not only did her business skyrocket after getting, and this was in that one store, she got a boyfriend. She got it all. She got what she wanted. And she got sex. And the shoes to go with it. Okay, so within that 30 seconds, the brain is shifting and making judgments and assumptions based on two things solely. Your attitude and the clothes that you wear. So what you say isn't even as important as how you look. I know it sounds shallow, but powerful. But you guys think about that. I'm going to take just a moment, if you will, to focus on each gender because I think it's really important. And men, please support me in what I'm saying, because if I'm saying anything that you don't think is accurate, I need to hear from you because you're the ones viewing the women. So this is another one of my clients, and she has struggled with her weight. So she was thinking that the bigger the clothes, the better, because she felt more comfortable. She didn't want things clinging, at her. How many, and I think there were some of you who shared your story. How many of you have lost a lot of weight and has struggled with like your body image kind of thing? Yeah. You know what's interesting about that is that what I find in terms of body and your confidence is that you look in the mirror and you still see yourself as that overweight person. And so you might still be wearing clothes that actually reflect the old you and not the new you. So really pay attention to that. It's amazing when I go shopping with men and women and they don't see themselves. I really help people see themselves. So she was starting her own, she had this apron business, like a real kind of interesting niche that she was trying to rock on. And it just, again, on her website, just like a plain mom picture. She's a mom. And, really tried to help her kind of, again, attract higher end clients and services and so that people trust and believe her. And this was her after. Even like, look at her smile, her body language. I'm going to talk about body language in a second. But in terms of women, this is the most important thing to know. Dress is one of the most important factors when it comes to a woman's career. What's really interesting about the research that's out there is that it doesn't have necessarily as much to do with the initial hire or people believing, but keeping your job and your credibility is more important when it comes to women's dress. However, if a woman is dressed poorly, it's a sure sign of failure. And this is just research, this is not my opinion. Women, know your body type. And the key is to emphasize what you have and de-emphasize what you don't want to emphasize. On my website, I invite you all to go. It's eliteimagemakers.com. And women, and I do have a product coming out for men, but you will get a free download of how to figure out what your body type is. And here's the thing, once you know your body type, shopping is a heck of a lot less stressful and it's easier and you know what clothes really look good on you. There's 5 body types, I'm not gonna bore everybody. That was the real reason why I brought up this measuring tape, not to really whip you, but this guy's over here smirking. Yeah, he's already, with the shoes, the sex, the whip, the whole thing. Okay, so what I want, does any woman want to volunteer coming up? I just want to show people measurements. Anyone? No volunteer. Thank you, come on up. Okay, and by the way, this has nothing to do with weight distribution. I want to be really clear about this. This has to do with your bone structure. And what I find is that, do you know your body type at all? Can you guess?
Inverted triangle, maybe?
So you think your shoulders are wider than your hips?
Yeah.
Okay. And with what you're wearing, it's kind of hard to know, but let's see if you're accurate. So women, when you're measuring, you just measure from shoulder to shoulder on the back. I'm not going to show people the numbers because it really doesn't matter. Yeah, you're spot on. Wow, she's an inverted triangle. Okay, so her shoulders are 3 inches wider than her hips. And what that means is because she's an inverted triangle, You, my dear, actually want to make your hips look wider. What a great problem for a woman to have. I mean, that's awesome. So you are gonna want this part of your chest to actually narrow. So the scoop necks, the kind of V-necks are really good because it narrows your shoulders. You want to actually widen this area to create more balance. How do you do that? The pencil pants are awesome. Anything with side pockets, white pants, anything to widen that area. So there's tricks, in other words, that you can do to really create a silhouette. Sometimes you like clothes you don't know why you're liking. Give her a hand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The model. Okay. So I want to talk to men. That was the live exercise. Okay, men. This is another one of my clients. Now, what computer how did you know? Do you know this guy is responsible for Siri on the iPhone? One of them. And the thing is that he, again, wanted to get a girlfriend, and he also wanted to have people take him seriously at work. And this is kind of how he dressed all the time. How many guys in here love shopping? Like, how many guys on a football Sunday will call another guy, hey, dude, you want to go shopping? There's this awesome, sale at Nordstrom's. How many? That's awesome. Oh, my God. I love that. How many women would love to have a guy like that? So women, we're socialized. It's okay to go shopping. We like it. Guys, but I love shopping with men, and I'll tell you why. Men shop like they're hunters, right? Men are hunters. They want something, they go after it, and they get 5 of them, and they leave. They're in and out. It's like combat zone, right? I love it. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I love you guys. I can go in and out, and then women, oh my God, they're like, no, I don't know, my butt looks and my arms don't look good, and so we, I have to have a little more tender loving care. She's laughing over there. Is that so? Anyway, so men. This is him after, and he ended up in a 2-year relationship after he got this new look. His online profile and in dating went off the charts, and eHarmony does this whole thing where they do measurements of how many clicks you get on a picture. His went off the chart. First impressions. So you guys don't have makeup to worry about. You don't have a lot to worry about. More hair you do, but not as much as women. The key is with you men, dress appropriate to your age, have an updated kind of, look to you, pay attention to your hygiene. Oh gosh, I can't emphasize enough about the hygiene. Okay, here's the thing. Because you don't have all the makeup and stuff like that, we really pay attention. So your breath, your nails. I remember this guy, he was dressed really well, but he had these long nails that were yellow. I'm like, dude, just cut your nails. I mean, you'll go so much farther. There's a psychological association with suits. The studies show that suits, actually people will take you more seriously in a suit than any other kind of clothes. Now, that's not to say that everybody should wear a suit, because it has to be specific, again, to your brand and your comfort level. But I thought that was interesting. Okay, let's talk about branding. This is the first B. Branding is super important. You hear this in marketing. I want to talk about how to brand you, not your materials, but you. You need to reflect your brand. Developing a personal brand is extremely important, not only in the message and the story that you're telling people about you, but it determines who you're going to attract, the clients you're going to attract, and what kind of opportunities are going to bring your way. In my princess story, there is no way I would have attracted any kind of suitor, for that matter, or opportunities if I still wore my big oversized clothes, my Birkenstocks, and my nursing bras. So this is the thing. Do you guys know who your customers are? Do you know actually what they look like? This is a powerful exercise. I want you to close your eyes and envision the customers and who they look like and who you want to attract. Because I guarantee you, if you dress like how your customers that you want to attract, or even one step up, you will attract them. Everyone knows the secret, right? Does everyone know the secret? Yeah, the law of attraction, right? Like attracts like. Okay, color. Let's talk about color. This is part of your branding. It's part of your website. It's part of your marketing materials. You guys need to know the psychological impact of color. It's really powerful. This woman, it's hard to tell in these slides, but again, I just kind of got a fresh, updated look on her and needed to punch up her color a little bit so that there was more attention brought to her. This is really cool stuff. Oh, I love this. I love the psychology of things, obviously. But do you know that the colors that you wear actually determines a lot of the reaction that you get from people? Like dark blues, you will be seen as honest and have a strength of character. Pink equates femininity. White is pure and clear. Just think about, like, if you're having a sales call or you're wanting to attract a certain customer, think about, the power of the colors. Colors significantly impact authority, status, your credibility, and how popular you are. Think this stuff is magic. I mean, remember that magic wand I talked about in my story? It truly is magic. Okay, now I go by color concepts. I'm not like, oh, you're spring or oh, you're winter, because look, our hair changes, especially women, we change it all the time. The tonality in our skin changes, and also fabrics dye differently. So I don't say, oh, you're a true summer, spring, but anyway, I just want you guys to really think about the colors that look good on you. You know how you can determine colors? That color that people have a reaction to, like, oh my God, you look so good in that. Have you ever gotten that? Do you guys pay attention to that? Like, you look really good in that shirt. I don't know if guys pay attention to that. Do you guys pay attention? Start paying attention. And then get more of that, because that's your color. All right, developing a personal style. This guy, he actually owned a jail bonding business. Really interesting stuff. I mean, he was making a killing, but he knew that the image on his website was all wrong. I mean, he was hanging out in those clothes before. It wasn't until I kind of got some updated stuff and the cool look, and it really, again, it made his business look a lot more authentic, and people believed him more. I mean, I'm just going to show you quickly all the icons. You don't have to be in a suit. You don't have to have a certain thing. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. He always had that outfit on. That was specific to him. That was unique to him. It told a story. It's like that's such a him kind of thing. Look at Zuckerberg. Look at how casual he is. But that was his look. That was his thing. And then there's Trump. Well, we won't talk about his hair because that's a whole other story. But the way he dressed was very specific to him. Now, he couldn't wear what Mark Zuckerberg would wear. You wouldn't believe it, right? He wouldn't be credible. And then, Gates, he has his own thing going on. I would probably change his glasses. I've been talking a lot about glasses to some men back there. It's kind of fading in. Guys, when you have a lighter face and lighter features, there's nothing like getting a pair of really distinct glasses that have darker rims. It's going to make you pop and give you character. Women, don't you love when guys are wearing that? Can we hear some clapping? Yes, thank you. Just to get reinforcement for the guys. Bloomberg, he has his own stuff. I'm going to just kind of whip through this. You will find in my product ways to get your personal style, and definitely get inspired. Start looking at guy friends or celebrities or people that you love and see what it is about that person that you really like and start owning it. What are your clothes saying? Do you guys know what message you are sending with the clothes that you're wearing? Women, these are some icons that I always pull. Who are you like? Are you more bohemian? Are you down to earth? Are you wanting the more feminine flair? Really, just start thinking about it and paying attention to it. We don't have time for that. My friend Kyle. So body language. And I'm going to end here and then talk about my product, but 93% of communication is nonverbal. That's powerful. So what you say, I could be just, as far as I'm concerned, I could be like the Peanuts, wah, 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 wah. Isn't even as important as how I'm presenting to you, right? If I came up here in sweats, I would have a different impact on you. You guys, she's cute, but why is she wearing sweats? And maybe you wouldn't believe me talking about style, right? I had to look the part, which is why I got a blowout, which is why I was so stressed with Heather. She's like, will you stop stressing about the hair? It was really important for me to have my blowout today because I wanted to feel confident. So body language is huge. I don't have time to go through it, but think about everything that you're sending a message to with the posture, your eye contact, smiling. Do you know smiling is so contagious? There's physiological response. When I smile, everyone's smiling. Everyone, all of you are smiling. Yawning has the same effect. So it's this mirroring that's happening to people. And again, in NLP, that's what's going to get your customers. You're in alignment with them. Don't have time, creating confidence. Confidence is sexy, confidence sells, confidence makes people believe in you. Again, you could have the best product in the world, but if you don't buy it within yourself, you're not going to sell it. Joe, I tried to find a picture of Batman, but I couldn't, so this was the next best thing. This is the Superman. Just feel like Superman underneath. What on the outside tells a message of who you are on the inside. It's symbiotic. It goes hand in hand. And think about the clothes that depletes your confidence. If you have anything that's itching you have a tear in your dress, anything that's going to cause you to look not confident, don't wear it. So looking good means taking care of yourself, showing a style, and projecting confidence. That is key. Again, your ROI, what is it? Can I hear all of you guys say the three things? Image, branding, and awesome. If you got those three down, you're gold. I'm going to end with a quote from Coco Chanel. This is my client, very high power woman. People just weren't believing it. She looked like she kind of came off the boat. And then I got her into a new sexy, confident kind of look. Coco Chanel said it best, dress poorly and people will notice your clothes. Dress well and people will notice you. So anyway, thank you very much. You guys were great and for participating and putting up with me.